Feature Friday.
The freshest. What's up, people? Welcome to Feature Friday. Plus, today's Sunday.
It is actually, and today, awesome thing happened. Actually, earlier this week, but awesome thing happened, which we reached 300,000 subscribers
on YouTube. Whoa! Bam, 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 bam. Cue
Yes.
celebrity confetti.
which we still don't have one of those buttons to do the
Or
like the
celebration
iCarly
confetti.
thing. I wonder if people know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, everybody knows what you're talking about.
Search up
iCarly control.
iCarly control. I want to know if it's actually a real thing.
It's not.
'Cause then,
It was a prop.
no, but if whether they exist
Obviously,
in a way
Carly.
which they will actually work.
Controller.
It must be one of the most popular with an N, man.
Yeah, I know. Stop.
Control with a T.
Controller.
R, that's it.
It's
Is-
double L? I
It's
didn't know
very-
it was with the double L.
Of course.
Controller.
It's very difficult. Just go on. What the hell?
I candy.
It's very
iCarly.
difficult for Walucha to kind of
Carly.
focus on typing when she has no glasses on. There she is. It must be one of the most popular things in
Yeah,
the world.
100%. Daddy, you can put it up. Look.
Look at that thing.
It has to be. Where can you find it?
It is awesome.
Nice.
And what does it have?
Applause.
Random
Boo. Random
dancing.
dancing.
Sound bubbles.
Sound bites.
Sound bites. Applause. I want to get one.
I want to get one.
Oh yeah, I told you. But I reckon I probably had a shitty speaker. And
Yeah,
it's not
suppose.
connected to a whole thing, right?
Oh my god, you remember this episode?
Yeah, he basically stole a prop from a Star Wars movie. Or a Star Trek movie. Which one was owned by Nickelodeon?
I don't remember.
Did they have the license to say Star Wars?
No.
Because that's one of the things I never noticed
They
when I was a
probably
child.
said something like, the wars of the stars in the galaxy or something like this, like that. You know, like how they rebrand cereal.
Yeah, or Apple products, right? They call them pear products.
Yeah.
And there would be a pear instead of an apple.
It did, yes, and it was a bitten pear.
It was a
Isn't
bit,
it?
yeah. Actually, that's a great idea for a phone. Very, very bad idea in terms of usability and actual usage. But for design, we're all going the
pear.
opposite way. Yeah, we're all
They
going.
had them.
They actually
had them.
existed.
Yeah,
Search
for
away.
iCarly. They had pear phones.
Sometimes I wish we would swap
iCarly
roles,
pear phones.
and I would momentarily become the host
I
of the
think
show,
it was
and you would sit
Victoria's
here
that had pear phones. Yeah.
So I
see?
could type.
Pear phone.
without you being blind.
Look, see, they were actual like pear shaped.
What?
And I think who made it, I think, was Victoria's. Yeah.
It was Victoria's and iCarly, right?
Look, it's apple, but
Yeah.
not it's pear. It's literally like
FaceTime. Back then, look, they were using filters when no one else was.
indeed. See,
That's a big ass pear, Jesus Christ. So they
you
actually were a
can
thing.
buy them.
How to get a pear phone? Oh, click on that.
No, I don't want to.
Why?
That's cool. Look, and it's like the old like display of like
I mean, that would suck now.
Apple. Oh yeah, I remember. See, it was like who made it really trendy was like Victoria's.
There was also another one in Zoe 101.
They had the flip up,
Yeah, when flip phones and
but
actually
it was
having
also pear.
Was it?
Yes. I
Yeah,
remember.
Nickelodeon's always been pear products,
Yeah,
right?
pear products always. Come talk to me about it.
No, actually, Disney, I think, has the right to be able to use Apple.
Is it?
I don't know.
I don't think it
Because
does.
in the Winter Soldier, this is one of the things I look forward to the most on a Friday. And I hate series. I don't watch anything. I really don't because I get obsessed with them.
Yeah.
But on Friday, Winter Soldier releases. Winter Soldier and the Falcon.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
An episode weekly releases. And this is one of the things I look forward to the most, like on a Friday. Because after we stop recording stuff, I can just relax, maybe order takeaway. There's no
Yeah.
training. There's no nothing going on. No working out. Just kind of, just chilling for a bit.
Friday's the best day.
Yeah, and we get to actually have some nice food together as a family and enjoy that. And then after that, I get to watch the episode, and it feels like the weekend has begun.
I know, it's great. I adore that. Like I remember growing up watching these shows and then thinking, "Whoa, I need that tech." Like I am so far behind.
Yeah.
You know?
But I was saying that I think in the Winter Soldier and the Falcon, that series, I think I have used them use their phone. I have seen them use their phone.
Yes.
And they might be Apple.
I don't know. Maybe it's just like around. Maybe they got the rights for that show, but not like not like to promote the products per se.
Did you see that prop from Game of Thrones? It looked like a Starbucks cup.
Yeah, I know.
But it even wasn't a Starbucks cup.
No,
it was another brand, but it looked like Starbucks, and he made 3 million for Starbucks in stocks, something like that.
It was a mistake.
Yeah, of course.
It was. I think it was Sophie's coffee cup. They forgot to take it off set, and it literally went viral.
He made so much money for Starbucks unintentionally.
Oh no! Yes.
How crazy would it be? Like an accident like that makes you millions and millions of dollars.
Well, a lot of things happen like that online. You know, the things that you wouldn't think would have made money. Like, you have you ever seen like those Watch Mojo videos?
Yeah.
It's like random things that made a lot of money for a lot of big brands.
Are they still a thing?
Yeah.
Watch Mojo.
Watch Mojo.
I haven't seen them in years.
Oh my god, I love them.
I used to love that guy, Matthew Santoro.
Oh yes, 20 facts that you didn't know about the internet.
No, like 50 facts. Yeah, stuff like that.
It's like 50 things you didn't want to know, but now you know.
He was awesome, and he was very popular.
He was awesome.
I don't know whether I think he's acting now more.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's dope.
So it seems to be like a progression, like for a lot of YouTubers that were big in the past.
Yeah.
And then they kind of go mainstream through acting and stuff like that.
That's amazing.
It's decent progression.
Amazing.
You know? Well, anyways, let's. I wanted to review Wheein's album.
Yes, Red.
Red.
So I was correct. The album, the mini album's called Red.
It is indeed. And put the artwork. I like the artwork of the album.
Yes, it's amazeballs.
No, it's not. I mean, amazeballs is a way to prescribe it, but it's kind of like eerie, but weird, but also fits their aesthetic.
I just put too many D's.
There, look at that. It's so bizarre.
It's cool. I like it because the whole thing is like painting, like watercolor type stuff, isn't it?
It's so bizarre.
It's so. Oh, that's the display of the album. That's dope. Oh my god, I like. Oh no! Show me the actual pre-order.
Oh, you can order
first
now.
mini album, solo album. I want to see the. I wanna see.
That looks awesome.
Nice. That is really cool. She really is amazing. I really like what they did. Mark the date.
Please.
I love it. Okay, let's get to it.
All right, so
this is her first mini album. I didn't know.
Yeah, same as Huasa when she released Maria.
Oh wow! I thought they had done this for a while.
No. So okay, so Red.
Yes, you can take it off.
Watercolor.
Yes.
You take it off, mate. Appreciate it. Watercolor. We've obviously checked out the video on the channel.
Yes.
So you can check that out if you wish to know our thoughts and like first time reactions to that.
Absolutely.
I thought Mumbyo and Sola were in it, and I was fooled by my eyes.
Yes.
Or maybe
your psyche led you to
wishful
believe.
thinking.
Yeah.
Because it would have been a cool like little Easter egg, just for like a second though. It would have been too long of a sequence because they dance quite together.
Yeah.
Then he goes to one of my favorite songs, even though it's so weird, like the lyrics.
It's so weird, but
Trash.
I
by PH1.
like it.
It's not
the
trash
lyrics
song.
are great.
Yeah, it's fun.
I think I love the playfulness of like the dynamic with PH1 and her, like how they work together. I love it. Obviously the lyrics is like, oh, is they're funny because let me pull them up because like from the top of my head I can't remember. But yeah, I think it was so great. In fact of how like they interacted with each other's lyricism. It was really nice.
We've been listening to like the songs, or I've been listening to the songs all throughout the week, and then today we were just vibing to the album.
It was freaking
non-stop.
amazing.
It's such a vibe. It's one of the best albums. Like actually, this year for the Korean industry in terms of R&B, it's been so strong. I Am with his album from Monster X, Bambi. I think it's one of the best albums of the year.
Yep.
Obviously this one, Wheein. There's also one more which I really like.
Oh. Wait a second.
R&B wise.
Freaking I Am from Monster X.
That's what I said it.
Oh, you said
DPR.
DPR.
Ian.
Yes.
One of the best releases of the year.
Absolutely, I agree.
Put there.
So in the trash song, which is not trash, that's freaking fantastic. I love how she's like saying that she feels like her mind goes into like trash, goes into trash when she thinks about him, right?
Yeah.
And like it's all messed up.
Like junk.
Yeah. The minute that he comes into her frame of mind, she's all like messed up, right? And then he comes in and he's like, I know that I am trash, but let me show you a good time, you
A
know?
lot of people say
And I
trash,
love that.
trash.
Yeah. But what is it down here? It's like, is it your fault to be so endearing? Unfortunately, I be feeling like
Unintentionally,
trash.
I be feeling like trash.
Yeah.
Open your door and I'll go inside. Let me show you what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's so clean.
It's great because it's really playful. It's really flirtatious, and it's nice tempo wise, and like the music as well. Yeah, I think this is one of my favorite tracks as well.
One of the good things about this EP, which I think, and I wish this happens more often, is the good utilization of features the right
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, I agree.
Right? Because like one of the things is like when it's a personal project, you might also get overzealous. Like you want to open every track, you want to kind of be the main thing of every track, and then bring features in that may bring a flair, right?
But not take the spotlight because the whole emphasis is on you.
But I feel the features on this album were chosen so well, like G Soul and PH1,
Yeah.
that Wheein is so clear in what this album was about that, like for example, in the, not to skip ahead, but like Butterfly, G Soul opens.
And it's fantastic. I think that's my favorite track of the whole thing.
Me too, and it makes so much sense.
Yes, it does, and it's a perfect vocal balance as well. Like the his texture and his vocal tonality do what she provides in the same track and the same chord progressions. It's absolutely fantastic. It's refreshing. It is so nice because for a moment you forget that you're being sold a product.
Yeah,
You know,
it's just an experience.
Exactly, like, and it's not just an experience. It's an atmosphere that you're being part of, and I think that's so cool. And obviously, since the first track all the way down to the sixth, I looked at all the lyrics of each song, and everything just was so nicely aligned. You know, like the concept of the album, the lyricism of the songs, how well timed the song progression was. Like if you think about it as a listening experience, like we like to think about albums, you have a really nice funky upbeat beginning, slightly slows down.
Yep.
And it takes you into this whole new like springtime type of like feel of it all, and then
That's actually one of the names of the songs.
yeah, springtime, and then he finishes up with no thanks, and it all makes sense, you know, and it like musically
very well
speaking,
packaged musical.
it's like when when Huasa released her mini album as well. Everything made sense musically, like one after the other, and I really like that because
and then you got a track like LMM, right?
Yeah.
LMM, which is like it sounds like a worship.
yeah,
song, that song.
which is like a like a mantra to herself, and everything just really aligned, and I really like that they put so much thought into the concepts as much as like the musical composition and the delivery of the title track, because sometimes you can get very commercial and in the title track, and then sell me a very R&B album that had nothing to do with the title track, and you're like, what was I being sold, you know?
Because this was very in line with kind of like Korean R&B.
Yes,
what Korean
like
R&B does really well.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Which hence why it's become one of my favorite genres.
It's like that Loco Zico Crush type of feel to
that
music.
Dean
Yeah.
feel. PH1 is obviously Junie.
Yeah.
You know, this type of sound, right? So it's and it's so peculiar to Korean artists in terms of R&B. And I'm happy that, like for example, the way Baekhyun does R&B, it's very different.
It's very his.
Yeah, and but the way Wheein does R&B in a solo project, and this is just kind of like points of reference, is that it is way more aligned with the commercial R&B that's selling in Korea at the moment. It's like what you look for. You know when you hear
It's
those
accessible.
playlists,
Yeah.
those playlists that people make, and they're like, oh, after work, what you want to listen to. This will be part of it. So it's like
this whole album is that. Yes,
absolutely.
I agree.
One of the tracks, the third track was Ohu. I don't know how to pronounce it. Oho. Very good, but I just feel like just to kind of make the review a bit more concise, when it comes to like my favorite tracks, and also when it comes, I also like to think of these albums in an international standpoint as well. Like just in Korea, you've had a lot, obviously, of releases in Arab.
Especially because they have such a huge fan base internationally.
Oh no, no, and also I feel like they can create so many more fans creating like this. What this type of quality brings new eyes, new ears, and new fans. It creates new fans, which is essentially what you want to do with any release, right? Not just only please your audience, but hopefully create something
cater to a new one
that may bring new waves into your fan base,
way of
right?
creation. Yeah.
But the I look at it from an international standpoint. Like for example, R&B wise, Korea has released quite a bit, but internationally we haven't had that much. Like Justin Bieber released his album, and it wasn't really R&B. It was he's like kind of like R&B pop with a bit of a electro pop more now. And I wasn't the biggest fan of that album, and I'm a big Justin Bieber fan. I think I liked a few songs from it. Electro wise, like I think that the songs I chose from there were like.
I like his Khalid collaboration.
I'll tell you.
And Peaches, of course.
Peaches was a great track.
Because I like the dynamics that the features in that song brought into the table as well. Like
yes.
having Giveon, having Daniel Caesar bring their own sound, their own flair to it.
So,
pretty good.
Like the song I like from there was just Peaches, Love You Different, Die For You, which Dominic Fike was awesome.
Oh, I love Dominic Fike. Yeah.
Off My Face and Too Much. So the album in itself wasn't bad. I have not felt
that emotional connection to
the need to listen to the album from top to bottom, like I would, for example, listen to Wheein's mini album. Now, is it a fair comparison? I have no idea, because this is six songs, and Justin is just like 15. You know, so
that's a huge number difference.
One of the things, though, I feel that Korea does so well by creating these mini albums, these concentrate concepts that you can just consume as a whole, and you can be then invested in their world.
That's right.
For 25 minutes, that's all you need. You don't need a fucking hour.
Long album 16, where you get lost.
16 songs, 21 songs. Not many people can do that. BTS have managed to do it correctly. Mac for the Soul 7. But that's rare.
But you know what? What I really think that Western music industry has yet to come to.
Giveon did it earlier in the year.
What has come to like. Mature in a little bit who am I, listen to me, but I mean, as in my own personal opinion, is that in Korea the labels take so much time to align their sound with their concepts and then sell it to you on a visual platter that is cohesive with the whole idea of it. I feel that I know that there are some rarities, and I know it for sure, but I feel like in the Western pop industry, you get a very good like mixture of things that happen. The album jumps from things to things, and then you get sold a music video, and then there's another music video, and I'm not saying that packing content like that it's wrong. It's obviously worked for so many years. But I believe that there's something so pleasing when you get an album that is so aligned with a concept, and the whole idea of it from top to bottom makes sense. Like BTS's Map of the Soul 7, everything about it, like there were several videos from that album, right? Two or three videos from that album, and they all made sense with the path and storyline of the whole album. Everything had a meaning, had a message. Then you can also see it on DPR Ian's Mood Swings EP, right? The album, the whole thing from top to bottom, every single piece of content that went out, so aligned with the concept.
And he made what? 4 videos? 5 videos?
Maybe a song, maybe for each song.
I think each song had a visual at least. Yeah, video at least, yeah.
And that, and that's what I'm saying, is that it's just that I just feel like I'm being sucked into this world that they have spent so much time trying to build.
Yeah.
And I feel like sometimes in the Western pop market, you get a rushed product. Right. Sometimes you get really good albums, or really good songs from an album that are a concept on its own, and then 13 other tracks are completely different,
Yeah.
and you get lost in and there's no journey from song to song, and each song is a different storyline, and yeah, it's just it gets a bit like, what is happening,
That's kind of what I felt with.
And they lose you in the
Yeah,
way.
that's kind of what I felt a bit with Justin's new album. Is that it's just from top to bottom. It didn't feel like the same thing. You
It
know?
was just a collection of great songs.
Yes. That's why the songs are good in there. Like some of the songs are great. I mean, over 6 songs are great. But this is one of the things that I really admire. What the latest Korean albums that I've checked out, like Wheein's Bambi, Wheein's Red, and Baekhyun's Bambi, IM's what the hell was the name of his album?
I don't remember. It feels like it was such a long time ago.
It was earlier in the year. Duality.
Yes, that's right.
Duality, yeah. So, but they are shorter projects, you know. But this is what I mean. It's like you can really sell me a concept there. So it's really a good project. Like Wheein's Red, it's a very good album from top to bottom.
I like this Oho one because it talks about that change in the weather, like when you feel, because when you feel happy, when you feel good, when you feel something fits and everything's aligned, suddenly you feel like, oh, the sunset is perfect and everything, it's like right, and that song is like the perfect embodiment of that. And I love how she says, oh, I shouldn't feel like this, or this is just something I feel guilty about, like I feel guilty for feeling this good, like it should be illegal type of stuff. And I like that. And then we travel then to Butterfly
one of
with
our
G
favorite
Soul,
songs.
and he does such a fantastic opening line. I think his verse, that whole beginning section, that whole first half of the track, is so his that for a second you gotta wonder if you're listening to her track.
It's kind of this mentality of like Bryson Tiller did in his anniversary song with Drake.
Yes.
Where it was a Drake song and Bryson Tiller was actually the feature.
Yeah.
But it was in a Bryson Tiller album.
That's right.
At a time, right?
Yeah.
But it fitted so well because it became a Bryson Tiller song towards the end. And then you understand it's like, yeah, this is a Bryson Tiller track.
Absolutely.
But Drake fits perfectly.
And
same
so
as
does
G-Soul. It's a Wheein track. It's Wheein's creation. But G-Soul just fucking aced it.
And I just love, again, it's a very good balance of like understanding of lyricism between the two of them. It's like a conversation. Is you're being part of this wondering, this
back and forth.
Yeah, it's a conversation, and you're a bystander, and that's fantastic because that doesn't happen often. What happens in features is that you get a sound dynamic, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily need to fit the lyric aesthetic of the song, right? Or the wavelength. It doesn't really need to be that way. Often you find that the features are talking about something totally different from the core of the song, right? And in here, it was a really nice conversation between the two. I thought this was a really great track too. My favorite track of the album for
Me
sure.
Too. Then track number 5, which is Springtime, which we kind of briefly spoke about here. Very melodic.
Lovely.
Very melodic.
Lovely.
One of the most melodic pieces in there. And I am glad this is kind of getting like categorized as hardcore R&B, just bang on pure R&B, which I couldn't agree more.
Her vocal tonality fits this style so freaking well.
So interested in seeing each member's solo work. Like solos would be really interesting, right? Yeah. Moonbyul, I think, would be probably one of the most intriguing. She did release some solo projects.
She did. I think
Half
she
Moon. I don't know if she has a. If not, she was the only one that had a solo
project. I think she might be. I don't know. We'll
do you remember that video we watched from earlier? I think it got blocked.
Yeah, I did.
Where...
But we really enjoyed her solo project. I think she had a fantastic... It's, again, a very solid concept. And
it was a good
really
carried.
It was a good song. Yeah.
And the last song then was No Thanks.
No Thanks.
And lyrically wise, I actually haven't had a time to look at this in No Thanks' translation.
Oh, yeah. It's it's nice. I think, like I said, everything is just. I think this is the right track to finish off the album
Nothing will
because it
go
makes you want
unfixed.
to repeat it. like
Right.
this is the track that leaves you wanting more. You know, so you play the whole thing one more time. That's what I found.
It's lovely lyrics. If I hug you like this, will you melt down? Will it be more difficult? When I meet you in my dreams, I think I'm more worried than happy to welcome you. No thanks, no thanks. It keeps hurting more. No thanks, no thanks. No thanks, I don't need any consolation. I feel like the distance between us is so big. I'm sorry to hear your laughter because I know there's nothing special about it. I am nothing while drawing a picture of you. It becomes incredibly painful. It's tough, man. Like that. Those are great lyrics because it is like this bizarre experience of like. How can I, when you listen to it, how can I relate myself to it? But
Mm-hmm.
she paints such a unique picture.
And it's a really it's like a bittersweet type of mental space if you think
Yeah,
about it because um
definitely a very personal piece.
definitely I wonder who had a if she had a say in the writing of the composing of the track itself, but it doesn't say.
Well,
It
perhaps,
normally says here, but
yeah, perhaps
maybe she
someone,
did. I don't know.
maybe click on the original song. It says click here
Original,
original song.
click here.
Maybe they will let you know. Produced by Park
Park
Woo
Woo
Sang
Sang, but
and
it doesn't say who's like
hold on,
um the lyrics from.
and written by him as well.
Oh, okay, nice.
Wow, that's awesome.
He's got he's got a pretty story to tell,
No,
isn't
yeah.
he?
And I mean, good person to choose to deliver it.
Absolutely. I think that's another thing that I admire a lot about the Korean labels. That there's a huge emphasis on like um, writing some like somebody else is writing a song, and then they're very picky about who's gonna sing
Who's gonna
it.
deliver it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. And in the Western music, that used to be like a secret between mouths. Like people used to know who was the best songwriters and who you would go to for certain things, but it was never like widely known.
Right, right,
So
right.
like the common listener wouldn't know that that was a David Foster track until somebody openly would talk about it. But what I like about the Korean industry, maybe because it's so new as well. It's like a new wave of uh, songwriters and composers. They're very open about it.
Right.
It's like this was written by this person, and it was originally sung like this, and we switched it and made it into this way. I was listening to yeah, I was listening to PH1
Yeah.
because he was talking about how he writes stuff and how he sees other composers that are his friends and producers who sell their tracks to big labels, and how they feel about who's gonna sing it and
Right, right.
who do they want to sing it and
Because after they
who
sell
do
it,
they
they don't really
envision.
they don't really get a say after they sell it, right?
They get a say, like for example if they're producing the track as well, so
Oh, of
they're
course, yeah.
obviously involved in that. But yeah, it's just cool because I think who was it? I think it was Crush who was talking about how it is like when you write a song for yourself because of yourself, and then you end up selling it to somebody else,
Ah.
and then you're like, I saw it so differently, but I'm so glad it sang like that,
Right, right, right.
but it's like that whole mental process, and I was like, wow, that's such an interesting process in itself, because like when you write a song, you become a bit overzealous because it's like your own creation, it's your own part of your brain, it's like
So your baby.
exactly, and then
Now you're giving it to someone else to raise it
exactly
willingly.
yeah, for a good price. So it's a bit so he was talking about like the psychological process of that, because sometimes you feel like you're giving a part of you away as well, because writing, composing is such a personal journey, and everybody has a very different way of doing it. So he said that he admired how producers and composers do this as a full-time living, Like, oh, I admire that because, like, how do you go
Yeah,
on
like
about often,
you have to kind of become impartial to it
Yeah.
a bit, right?
It's like when the songs get overplayed and that's it. It's you overplayed and nobody would ever know that it's you overplayed, It's
Whoa.
really interesting. It's
And
cool.
it's also very bizarre as well that like a lot of very famous singers right now used to be writers and very successful writers.
That's right,
Bruno
yes.
Mars used to write. Was
Jesse
it
J used to write.
Megan Trainor's very well known writer, and that because he's been very
Taylor Swift used to be a ghostwriter,
a writer. Yeah, I
writer,
think that
yeah.
was the thing as well. Like because here
It's
they
like
call
a
it
dirty little
ghost writers,
secret,
right?
yeah.
But the only reason why it's called ghost writers is because you don't know who it is.
Yeah.
They don't
Sia
state.
used to be that.
Sia used to write.
Lana Del Rey used to do that a lot as well.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just because you didn't know who they were.
Yeah.
But here, because it's so open about it, we got writers and they work for this label and this and this stuff.
And there's some writers that work specifically with a certain label, just that label and that only.
It does make it more peculiar when it comes to rap, I feel, and also you could make the same argument when it comes to any other art, right? Because it's like when it's a personal story as such, there is some added value when it's a personal story that comes from the person who's also delivering it.
Yeah.
Same as like with a rap, it's different level when someone who writes the rap also delivers it, or it's different level when someone who writes the song sings it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think this is such a clear argument that it's not necessary in order to have a hit song, or it's certainly not to make a hit song, but it's not necessary to make a meaningful and well delivered song for you to be the creator of the song.
That's
You
right.
can simply be the bearer of the
That's right.
creative baby.
If you would like to think of it, the translator of the thought, like the translator. That's the way I would think of it. But yeah,
That would be an approach, yeah.
it was a fantastic album. I think
Perfect.
from
It's
top
a
to
good album.
bottom, great. I think it's just praises all around. I think it's a fantastic album, and I'm so glad this is going to my R&B Korean playlist, and I am so glad because every track just makes sense, and yeah, it's just and listening to it with the new headphones as well. It's like picking up so many beautiful details. It's fantastic. It's really great.
That's certainly one of the best things about making buying new headphones is that.
It's just like, whoa, a brand new world.
Yeah,
It's
certainly.
great. It's
Well,
nice.
yeah, do tune in this next week and next week's Feature Friday Plus.
Yes.
I was about to say that because it's obviously the wrong dates, but like do check out this week's Feature Friday, which was awesome. And,
We had such a fantastic time trying to finding out. I love first time, so if you like finding
New
new
music.
artists, yeah, for the first time, go check that one out
And
because
some-
it's
sorry.
no, go ahead because it was just great.
And some that were not as popular as they will get. That would be my bet.
Yeah.
And very different concepts and awesome music in
Sounds
there.
and influences, so very radical changes. It's great, and yeah, let us know who else you would like us to check out.
You would like us to check
for
out,
for
yeah?
the first time. Yeah, wow, super excited for first times. I think they're great.
Obviously, thank you so much for all the love and the support. 300,000 is an insane amount of people. And
I cannot even begin to grasp that number. It's absolutely incomprehensible to my brain.
and the amount of people that are watching the podcast and the channel, it's just insane. Like
You guys
every
are
day,
so
and
precious.
it's just very, very, yeah.
Wholesome and heartwarming and humbling and all at the same time.
Someone said it's bizarre how many times Efra says the word bizarre, but that's very
But
bizarre.
bizarre. But that's
yeah,
bizarre.
That is peculiar and a half. This whole thing that's going on. So we're truly grateful. I think I speak for both of us here. I mean, you can speak for yourself, but
You can speak for yourself, but no, I think you nailed it in the head. No, for real, I couldn't be more grateful for every single one of you. I think I've said it often, but the sharing of this experience and having you involved so actively in the growing and building of this channel has been absolutely insanity. I don't understand it, and I I stopped like understanding it a long time ago, but I'm just grateful and sincerely very very humbled by your support and constant love and appreciation. I couldn't say it in another way. It's
It
fantastic.
is. Yeah, it is a hard concept to kind of get grasp your head around,
Yeah,
because it's an immense amount of people. I've never seen that amount of people in my life.
I don't know how 300,000 people look in one place. I
No,
have no idea
I
what
don't.
that
I don't
looks
know what
like.
30,000 looks like. I don't know what 40,000 looks like. I don't know what 50,000 looks like. Like the previous podcast, I don't know what 100,000 looks like. I have no idea.
No idea what that like physically. I have no idea what that looks like.
Yeah,
But
I don't know, and that's why the comments I think are awesome, and the messages you guys send us are awesome because I get a grasp on who's watching and what
yeah,
you're like and the type of things you enjoy and the type of music you listen to and the type of music you'd like us to listen to.
and it's like we're together. It's like no time zones, no barriers or limits of like front like borders or
Yeah, yeah.
anything. It's just like real free, cool
No
communication that
need
we
to
can
get on a
find
plane.
together.
You can just watch from the
Yeah, and it's fantastic. I mean, the
home.
amount of people we've connected to that have become so freaking important and influential and interesting in our lives,
Yeah.
thanks to you. Like it's absolutely fantastic. I think, you know, not to get all cheesy about it, but yeah, truly, truly, honestly, from the bottom of my heart, very grateful for every single one of you. And yeah,
I
it's
think
dope.
I think
You're all dope.
a good thing to mention as well is probably like regarding like guests on Future Fighter Plus and stuff like that who we having on the podcast and
Mm.
things like that. Like at the moment, because someone mentioned it, they were like, "Oh my god, it's awesome! I'd love for you guys to interview someone from like the Algerian podcast, right? One of them from Algeria." And I was like, "Yeah, it'd be awesome to have him on." The problem is the language barrier is difficult, right? Sometimes that's the only problem when we check out music from all over the world. Like Takey, it's very difficult to have him on because he doesn't speak that much.
Yeah.
It was awesome when we had Kan, right, from Korea.
And he
Uh,
brought his friend Dongai to do the translating.
so
And
and
yeah,
and lately it's been quite a few awesome artists from the Philippines, and luckily we have kind of they speak English there.
the
So,
blessing, yeah.
but we just as how Feature Friday began, the whole objective is to have artists from all over the world
We're
and
just trying to figure out the dynamics of it. Like, how would we actually go about, um, like getting like a
worldwide
mediator,
artists,
yeah,
you know.
to like actually get to understand the artist as much as they want to be understood.
Yeah, because also like I keep saying it, but that is genuinely my dream when it comes to Future Friday, and I think that's something we share in common.
Mm-hmm.
Where I I want to be able to discover, and then hopefully vicariously through me, someone can also discover someone else, a new way of thinking, a
Yeah.
new way of making music, new sounds.
Inspiring moments, things that just spark a different type of like opinion and certain views in your own life and perspective. Because I know for sure that when I was younger, even nowadays, you watch certain content and you see these artists or people that you find influential, and you see how they think, and your whole perspective of the world changes. And I would love, like, as selfish as that sounds, but I would love to be one of those facilitators, like, that brings some of those inspirational moments for you in your own life as well.
I think that's why podcast is so cool because there's not really much setup. It's just a conversation.
Yeah.
And I think that's where you find a lot of value because very a lot of filters go down and a lot
Mm.
of kind of like barriers come off and you get the chance to truly express what's on your mind and the way you perceive the world and the way you've created and your fears and your hopes and your dreams and your goals and your failures. So it's a really interesting platform. It's really cool that obviously a lot of you guys are enjoying it, which is mind-boggling to begin with, because we're just two people in a couch. Um, and I actually thought like to check out some of like the earlier episodes of like Future Friday, like the ones that are not even on the channel. How the way we begun. Would be cool idea to kind of like a little throwback. So do let us know what you think of that, and kind of like maybe one of the things that I know we get asked a lot is like pictures and previous albums that we did when we were children and music and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how the law would work on our side there, like
I don't
copyright and
know
stuff like that.
either.
So that's why we've kind of delayed that. But I am working on kind of getting all of that together because it's quite funny because
Compiling all of that footage.
yeah, it's quite funny because it's hard to find like the archives of the TV shows and stuff like that. Like who the hell keeps those?
It's like we would have to get in contact with the TV.
So I am
channels.
planning on doing that, and I am planning on going ahead on that. And maybe we can do like a podcast where we just
They
look
could
back.
just show
You know?
you some of our like photo albums.
Yeah, like, you know,
Welcome to the family show.
because it does feel like you guys are part of the family, you know, like the freshest family. So
And you know how like Latino moms, every time any guest comes into the house, they show you like all the photo albums of you naked, butt naked in the ground, you know? Yeah, I think if
well, I
you
don't
like
know if there'll
that.
be any nudity.
No, I don't talk about nudity, but like on like the whole, you know, the beginnings in the industry, I suppose.
Absolutely, yeah. It's also gonna be fun to just check out what we did. You know, we had so many pictures and so many videos.
And
of
I'm
us
pretty
small,
sure I haven't seen them in like a really
a
long time too.
Yeah. So let us know what you think about that, and I'll be more than happy to get everything sorted and
So we can get nostalgic together.
yeah, it'd be awesome. And
Anyway.
lots of awesome stuff is happening like on Feature Friday. You know, like so we are very very grateful for that, and you guys are truly awesome. Do remember that the Feature Friday store is now open, and you can just search up featurefridaystore.com and you can get your merchandise. Also, that thanks to a lot of you guys, we're now on IheartRadio, so you can stream and listen if you wish. Same as Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
That's right.
And yeah, some cool guests coming in the upcoming weeks.
So you
And,
should totally tune in and stay with us for as long as you like.
Yeah, so very very fun.
Oh, very, very grateful for every single one of you again.
Again, let us know what you'd like us to watch next and what you'd like us to review next, and we absolutely will. And thanks for watching Feature Friday Plus.
Peace.
Thanks so much. Peace.
Bye-bye.